Are you looking for hormonal health advice you can trust? Our experts are here to give you the support you deserve. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling with their hormonal health or maybe some of the women's health conditions that are so often shrouded in silence?
I would say don't suffer in silence. So many of the conditions and struggles that women go through are actually very, very common. And when you start speaking, it'll be incredible how many other women will connect with what you're going through and they'll be able to support you. So absolutely do not suffer in silence.
What is one piece of advice you would give to someone who is really struggling with their menopause symptoms?
I think that the first thing is to track it, write it down, and be aware of what else they're doing in their diet and lifestyle that could be affecting the severity of their symptoms. But then I also would suggest that anything that is happening is real, even if it feels like an exaggeration. It's important to be in tune with what's going on with you and what you need, that you think you need to do to create change in your life.
What's one piece of advice you would give to someone that is struggling with their hormonal health?
So I would actually suggest people go to their doctor about it. We do have specialists, we have endocrinologists who are experts in our hormonal health. And I think there's so much kind of unqualified advice on social media. So if you really are having symptoms or you think something's wrong with your hormones, you know your body better than anyone. And I think you should actually seek proper medical advice for that.
Your TikTok is all about helping people navigate PMDD life.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice you would give to someone who's really struggling with their symptoms at the minute?
Great question. I would say number one is that it can get better, and I promise it will. Number two, keep pushing for a diagnosis. Don't let anyone gaslight you. Keep pushing. If you want to watch videos on my page, people have literally taken in my page before and been like, I feel like her. I have PMDD. And then the doctor's finally gone, well, if you feel like that, yeah, you have it. But yeah, keep persisting. Look into like what supplements can help you. Look into changing little parts of your lifestyle and like minimizing stress. But overall, I always say to people that it can get better. And even if you're in the depths of like darkness, like I was like just over a year ago, it can get better. And I say it every time, honestly, every single time.
What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's living with endometriosis?
Honestly, my advice to somebody living with endometriosis would be to reach out and connect with a community because it can be so isolating and there's a lot of unknowns. And I think just to get a diagnosis itself can be really difficult. And then kind of challenging through these treatments and options and just knowing which paths to take and where things are going to end up. So reaching out and building that, safe, supportive community for me was really important. And I think everybody should absolutely do that.
What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who is trying to start their hormone balancing journey?
Cut down on stress. Stress has a huge impact on how you can balance your hormones, has a huge impact on your mood. When we're stressed, we don't make enough of the good types of hormones. It's harder for us to get rid of hormones that we need to kind of get rid of as waste. Stress is very nutrient depleting, so you haven't got the good vitamins and minerals needed for a healthy cycle. And go to bed earlier as well. That would be my second tip.
What piece of advice would you give someone who is feeling stuck in a rut with their hormones and their health?
Gosh, I'm only allowed to give one bit of advice here. I'm going to try my best and give one bit of advice. But the first thing I would say is to monitor your hormones. So throughout the month, really monitor it, write it down, monitor your hormones, really write it down what's going on with you. Keep a track of this. And reach out to a health professional, someone like Holland Barrett, who have got a lot of health professionals in their stores, and go and look after yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. So that's my main bit of advice. Go and seek for yourself. Be curious.